Well, hello, Sagittarius. As promised, I was going to take a look at some of these people you may be attracting to you because I feel like it's new people all over the board. It's like new relationships, new romantic relationships, could be even new career relationships and new friendships. So I used a whole bunch of other cards that I don't normally use. I feel like, so this is going to start off with oracles, lots of them. You know how I roll, Sag. So let's get to it, right? And what's funny is that, as I was channeling your energy, I was listening to music, and the first song I heard, and it really kind of spoke to me, like, because I'm a hip hop girl. So the first thing I heard was Saweetie's Back to the Streets. So if you are moving on from people, especially relationships, I'm telling you, listen to this song. It will make you feel empowered. In a different way, but and then I just keep hearing songs that were relating to partners who had money. So either side, you're attracting money yourself and success, or you're attracting partners who have money. Because I heard Cash Shit too by Megan Stallion, but let's move on. If you're looking for personal readings, please check out the links in my description. I am so grateful that you're here. And so let's start with what you're leaving behind. Okay. So, first off, like, you're being honest with yourself at this point, right? Truth be told, is all about honesty and taking off the mask. And I feel like this is really talking about, not seeing people as you want to see them, seeing them as they really are. And I feel like that is what's happening. And so you are moving on from never ending stories, which we saw in the reading yesterday, patterns that just keep repeating and keep repeating. We're not going to keep going to the same things because we're trying to grow here, right? So let's get started. I use the archetype oracle by Carolyn Miss, which is so amazing, which is all about personality types. So you can see, different personality types of the people you're attracting. And this oracle called Love Oracle, which is really fun, which it kind of highlights aspects of famous people that you might be attracting. You're not attracting the actual people, but people like them who have aspects of them and the wisdom of the oracle. Yeah. And then we will get to the tarot, and I possibly am going to do an extended for the love reading. So if I do an extended, you'll find that in the description. So let's take a look, Sag. So in terms of friendships, let's look at that, okay? So we're seeing Prince, Saboteur, and Messiah. And they don't mean what you think they mean, Sagittarius. So, I feel like you're attracting some lighthearted people. Maybe even water signs, because there's a lot of they would be very flirty type people, very fun people, romantic charm and potential for power. They could be people who charm their way into things, but that's not always a bad thing, right? And Saboteur is all about, somewhat with some friendships, they could actually be triggering you, but in a good way. So there is some mirror energy going on here. And basically, it highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. So there might be some people who are really pointing out, ways in which you could grow. And maybe that has to do with fun, Sag, to be honest. And Messiah, serving humanity and humility. So this is definitely a spiritual connections. And I feel like they are just kind of, and I feel like they are gentler in their delivery, right? Not so harsh if you're, used to harsh people, but they may be, you know, these are people who definitely are about the bigger picture, which is very Sagittarius and very much about helping other people. And they may be showing you, where you could work on yourself. So that is really beautiful, I think. But the way they're showing you is not harsh, it's very light. Yeah. And it's funny because there's a lot of, also in these cards, there's a lot of English prototype type people, like, royalty and stuff. So you got Edward the Eighth, and there's a lot of very mature energy here. So I do feel as if you are attracting very mature people to you. But they're mature people with aspects of them that are very lighthearted and young, if that makes sense to you. Because you have Edward the Eighth and Lena Dunham. I mean, this couldn't be any different if it tried. It really couldn't. And a king is not, this is someone, make your own kingdom and choose your own family, which is very much Sagittarius energy, I feel. And with Lena Dunham, like, I feel like these are, if you feel like you're an introverted Sagittarius, right? You kind of go your own way. I feel like that's the energy of Sag. I feel like you are attracting other people like that. Other people who are more about the concept of soul family and choosing your family. And very much, there's a lot of mature energy in terms of attracting people who do take care of other people, who do know how to care for other people, who don't just think about themselves, right? And with Lena Dunham, that's very much a loner energy for me, very much. And there's also a lot here about attracting creative types, because creative types have really come out. And I think that's a Sagittarius thing. I really do. The energy around it is like the people that you're coming to meet in friendship are people you are supposed to meet, Sag. Because they're people, the fates and regeneration. They're people who have had to start over the same way you have. They're people that have had to rise from the ashes the same way you have. So you're going to feel very connected to these people because they share a lot of the ideology that you do. Because I think Sagittarius is really like famous for creating their own family. I know that I have done that. I know that, it's not saying that you're not close to your family, but what it is saying is that you also are very much in tune with that whole soul family mentality. And I know I am. I know I am because, my family really isn't close, to be honest. But that's a whole nother story. So, in terms of business relationships, we're trying to pull these cards out so you can see them better. God, okay. Alchemist and mediator, like, that's so you right there, Sagittarius. Like, you're attracting people who have a lot of compassion for others, which is very much how we are. They're very generous, generous, and very much have the gift for the peacemaker gift, which is also Sagittarius. The alchemist is transformation of base motives and goals into wisdom. So you're definitely attracting thinker type people into your business life or career life, people who like helping others, people who like to be generous, and people who are very much about strategy. So there's also some very logical energy. Gifts for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument, which could really be Libra or specifically Gemini. But these are people who like you try to figure things out and try to figure things out, not just for themselves, but for others. Right. And, the fact that they have a gift, and this really feels like management qualities, to be honest, but a mediator is a peacemaker who definitely sees both sides of the story. And then I feel like this is definitely you energy, Sagittarius. This could actually talk about you could be going into this kind of role, being a mediator of some type. It feels very management-ish to me too, but these are the business relationships that you're attracting. People who don't just, who are very giving. There's going to be a lot of give and take. So it's not going to be where you're working with people and you're having to do the work. No, these are people who meet you on an even keel and who are very much about strategy, which is very good for Sagittarius because we are not. We're not very good planners, to be honest. And so you may be connecting with people in a professional capacity that really help you with that, and really, I see you as the alchemist because I always believe Sagittarius as the alchemist, but you're attracting people of similar nature that are problem solvers, that want to help people, that want to bring peace and see, there's just so much about balanced connections professionally, which is beautiful. And we're seeing Queen Victoria and Oscar Wilde. So you definitely, it's really interesting. It feels like, I wanted to say maverick energy, but that's such an old-fashioned word, right? I just feel like you are attracting people who aren't afraid to take a chance on creative matters, right? I would venture to warn against too great intimacy with artists, as it is very seductive and a little dangerous. It's like you're attracting people who definitely are logical, definitely are about strategy, but also take chances in a creative way. They may be guarded for sure, very much about protecting themselves. But you're also attracting people in career type avenues that don't care what other people think. So these are very creative people that you are attracting. So, that's really nice. But what's even nicer is the energy around it. You definitely are getting into a environment that it has a lot of give and take because the energy around it is community and peace. People who want to work on things together, people who work together, but at the same time, sure, they're guarded. They're always watching out for themselves, right? They're not stupid, so wow, I love that. I love that. So in terms of romance, here's what's interesting. Romance. So it showed up Hermit reversed. I feel like you're attracting someone who shows up in the shadow attributes of the Hermit, which is withdrawals, someone very lonerish, withdrawals from society out of fear, negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. Like, this may be why this person isolated, but I feel like they're kind of getting out of that. And it does feel as if this person is guarded, definitely. And even, it's so funny that artist is here. I feel like they're leaving some things behind. they have been leaving some things behind and really trying to step into king energy, which is, you know, being there for others, being a leader. I feel like this, what this person is leaving behind is, you know, player ways. Can I just say it? Player ways. And it could be that they, you know, they feel very seduced by you. That could definitely be true, right? And I feel like this person wants to appear to you as someone who is responsible, who makes good decisions. You know, they don't want to come at you from and appear to you like a player, because that's not who they are anymore. You know, they may have been that in the past, and that may have been, you know, why they have held back, or why they've spent so much time alone. Honestly, it could be a Virgo too, or could be any sign, because I really kind of feel like with the king energy is kind of Pentacles energy. So there's Pentacles energy, there's definitely a lot of earth energy here, but there's also water. So take that as that resonates. And this person wants to, like, even though they show up as the king, so they definitely want to show up as a leader and someone who does the right thing and someone who is invested in long term. They also want to live life differently, because artist is here, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So this person kind of has a poetic soul, really. And I feel like they see life differently. And, you know, they may even want to live life differently. This is a very creative person, because they also show up as Courtney Love and Hugh Hefner. So I do feel as if this is a person who has had a lot of relationships. Okay. They definitely have a history here, Sag. And they are very ambitious, Courtney Love. It's also possible that they have some history with addiction or partying. I kind of feel like this very much is this person's past, honestly. And what came out for this was Treasure Island, Orphaned, and Loyal Heart. Oh my goodness. Like, you're not going to be alone anymore, Sag. If you are single as a Pringle and ready to mingle, and you've been on your own path for quite some time, it's like this love is coming to you, and it's what you've been waiting for. You know, Treasure Island is also, you know, about things being better than you expect. It is kind of like the thing. And I feel like you're not expecting this at all. And it is, maybe you thought you were never going to find it, but you're definitely finding someone loyal, someone you share a lot in common with. I'm not saying that, you know, in terms of their past or whatever, that you share that in common with them. But here's the thing about opposites, even. You know, I find myself very attracted to opposites, and a lot of the reason is because what is really important is not that you have everything in common. It's your core values. It's what's on the inside is what's really important. And you know, that's why we have to always strive to venture outside of our type, because you would be amazed at what you discover, and even like how much you do have in common with people you never would have thought you did. Oh boy. Change in the wind, between worlds, and no place like home. Like, you're literally stepping in, and this is about, you know, limbo. Like, this limbo period, maybe if even you've been involved in, you know, in the in-between with people, you're very much stepping into new waters here, Sag. You know, brighter waters. People who feel like home to you. Well, I love this. This was so positive, Sagittarius. It definitely was. Definitely was. So, you know, I'm going to do an extended and take more of a look at this new love developing. So if you are interested in that, please check it out. Toodles.